This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast, brought to you in part by our sponsors, Sphere Rocket VA. I am your host, Gianna, and today we are welcoming Stephanie. Stephanie, thanks for joining us on the show.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We're super excited to get to know you. And I guess to best do that, we better start all the way back at the beginning. Who is Stephanie? Where are you from? What market are you in now? And how did you find yourself becoming a realtor?
Well, I tend to get long-winded because I'm a Southern girl. So born and bred right here in North Carolina, and I absolutely love that. I love being an ambassador for my area because it brings me a lot of joy, because I know when people move here, they're going to absolutely love it. And I love that I get to be a part of that. So I'm here in the North Carolina area. I do work all over the state, though. I work in the mountains. I've worked at the beach. I kind of work a little bit of everywhere because I've had homes all over the state. So my journey to real estate started, and a lot of real estate agents have the same story. I used to be an educator. I was a high school English teacher, and I absolutely loved it. I loved every day. Even though, of course, I had to go on welfare in order to afford it here in North Carolina. And then life happened, and I found myself with a child and divorce. So at the time, we had accumulated quite a few rentals, and I had a really good friend of mine when I was living in Asheville who was a real estate agent, and she had told me many times, she's like, you should be a real estate agent. You've got the great personality. You love helping people. And, but yeah, I just was like, no, I loved what I was doing at the time. But that kind of propelled me into having to figure out something else that I could do while I had my child at home that would give me some flexibility. And so, the old saying that, sometimes they seem like bad things at the time, but they're actually good things. Well, that's exactly what happened to me. It was a really bad time in my life, but it was a really good time in my life now looking back, because that's what propelled me into real estate. So I knew that I loved helping people. That's always been my heart and soul. I literally, ever since I was a child, I probably because I watched my parents always helping people, but that's just always been an important thing for me. So I knew I loved helping people, and I was like, okay, I've got a master's degree. I made it through taking all the stuff that you have to take for that and doing my thesis. I was like, surely I can get a real estate license, right? So then went to real estate school, got my license. And then by that time, as all real estate agents are, it's like, what do I do now, right? So I have to tell you my first little story here, and I hope that some folks aren't watching. But in the very beginning of my real estate career, I was so gung-ho because I'm very passionate. And if I find something that I love, I am just like 110%. And real estate was that for me. And I just could not wait to get started. So literally, the very second that I found out that, okay, I'm good to go, I went right into my office where I started. And immediately, my team lead said, I need you to go show a house. And I'm like, yay, awesome. I get to go show a house. This is fantastic. I'm so excited. So I go over, I meet the folks at the address, and I'm so happy and I'm so excited and I'm nervous, and I walk them up to the door. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is that on the door? Like, No one had told me that there was a lockbox. Literally had no clue what to do with that lockbox. Called my team lead. Of course, she wasn't available.
Of course.
Called her assistant. She wasn't available. Basically, it was like the biggest fail. And it absolutely, like, I was just like, okay, this is not cool. I should have asked the right questions. I should have done this. I should have that. But looking back now, I'm like, that minute of standing there being humiliated because I had no clue what to do and I had no one to call.
Mm-hmm.
That is what has parlayed my business now, which is I love to help agents.
Yeah.
I love to teach and train and mentor, especially, any agent, but especially a brand new real estate agent, because that is something I did not get.
Yeah. And we'll circle back more and later in the interview as well about, some advice for the newbies, but that's great, Stephanie. Something that I like to say is that I like to be the person that I needed when I was in their shoes.
Exactly.
Right. And so, even if I have to create this person, I never had a mentor like that. Or, if I was lucky enough to have a mentor in that stage of my life, how could I be that mentor? Where did that mentor fall short for me? And how can I do more? And so I really respect that, Stephanie. That's a really awesome story. I think a great characteristic to have for anyone is humility, to accept that
100%.
those things happen and that it's a coachable moment. And I think that you've done exactly that.
Yep.
Which is so cool, Stephanie. So obviously you started with a different brokerage. You weren't with EXP. So how did EXP present itself to you? And then how did you decide, that, hey, this is the jump for me. I'm going to take it. Because it's hard. Switching brokerages is tough.
It is. But I will tell you, I was not an easy sell. I was, by that time, I don't jump around a lot. I'm extremely loyal. To a fault, almost loyal.
I get it. Yeah.
But by the time EXP, was presented to me, I was at a small local boutique brokerage firm, and so at that time, I was just consistently in the top 3, and I think we had 100 agents or so, and I was in my mind anyway, little local girl here, I was killing it, right? I was doing very well. I was doing great. Why in the world would I want to change? Like, this is fantastic. I don't pay any desk fees anymore. I just, it was fantastic. So I just couldn't imagine that there was anything better than that, right? So then a friend of mine who I knew through my youngest ended up going to EXP, and he just kept, he told me about it, and I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Okay, whatever, right? But he kept on, and a year passed, and he had been, kind of knocking on my door about EXP. And finally, I had an encounter with Matt Ron, who is here locally, but he is all about some numbers, all right? My brain doesn't work that way, right? I'm not about numbers. I love numbers, but they don't click in my head. Matt Ron showed me what I could do if I had the same number of transactions, but with EXP, and what that would look like. And I took that to my husband and I said, this is a no-brainer. And we talked about it, and I was just like, I'm jumping in. I want to help agents. Sounds like this is a great place to help agents. And I jumped in, and I'm going to tell you, game changer.
Absolutely. It's been a life-changing move for so many agents. And, whether you choose to come on board and be an agent and hit that icon, or you want to come over and you just want to recruit, cool, get after it. You don't even have to sell a house. But like, the cool thing about it is that EXP offers so many amenities, so many paths for people to take, that really the options are endless. And Stephanie, I'd like to know, what about EXP makes you say, I'm never leaving this place? Because we've got rev share, we've got stock options, we've got the collaboration. So what to you really sticks out? Like, I will, not necessarily that you'll never find this somewhere else, but you'll never find anything that could substitute that in your brain. Like, EXP is the best because of it for you?
Okay, so for me personally, again, I feel like the EXP is designed for people like me who have a heart for helping.
Yeah.
I can tell you that I have met, because I've been to all the EXP cons since I came on board in 2019. And I've talked to tons and tons of agents because I do a lot of referrals and things to other places. And there's always going to be those few, right? But honestly, with all the agents that we have right now, which is almost 80,000, they are all like me. They have this heart for helping that just doesn't stop. And that is always my number one. Do I want to make money? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we took our stock 2 years ago and bought my husband's $80,000 vehicle sitting in the driveway.
Incredible,
right? Oh, just from me doing what I do, which is doing real estate, helping agents, it's amazing. So yes, I'm 100% through EXP, and I don't care what anybody says. Our agents are different. They're different. Absolutely. And that to me is the most important thing.
No, it's so cool. The culture that EXP has built and promoted here. And it just really speaks levels about the company, because not any brokerage is going to have this, but not alone, just brokerages. Really, any industry you go into, their culture is going to be incomparable to the culture that EXP sets for its people. And to think that it's all in the metaverse, like to think that this culture has been made up in an office space that's not even tangible, is incredible. And it shows that it can be done, and that the people want to be here. And
That's right.
It's awesome. And so, Stephanie, obviously, you're a mama, you're a real estate agent, you've got a husband, you just said, and so you're a busy lady, you're a high producer, you're on the Icon podcast. So I want to know, how do you take care of Stephanie? How do you make sure that you avoid burnout mode?
Oh my gosh, I wish you wouldn't have asked me that question.
I know some people are like, well, you let me know when you find out, Gianna. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I will email you.
I will tell you, it has been, because again, I was a single mom with 2 kids for a very long time, working in real estate, obviously having to manage all that. And so my husband still says to this day, I've got single mom syndrome, which is everybody else comes first before me. However, I will tell you that as I am growing the agents that are with me, the one thing I have noticed is that if I do not make enough headspace for myself, that I cannot completely give to them the way that I should. Yeah. And so as a matter of fact, we have Tuesday meetings every Tuesday, and I told them on Tuesday, the most important thing for me is every single morning I've created a routine for myself, and I'm very, very consistent about it, that for the first hour when I get out of bed at 6 or 6:30, whatever, that first hour I spend in prayer, meditation, going outside, getting a little bit of fresh air, just thinking through things, how blessed I am to have the things that I have, to have the career that I have, and just really working on my mindset. So as much as that's not a, wonderful vacation, which we do occasionally get, still, I think it's so vitally important that every single day that we do start with time for ourselves and time that we can pray and meditate and enjoy nature, and get some fresh air and sunshine to sort of re-energize us each day before we begin. So
I agree. I think it's so important to recharge, because that's what helps you be yourself, your best self, of course, to your clients, those people that you're mentoring or being mentored by. But ultimately, you owe it to yourself to recharge. I know it's easy to go, but take a minute, watch one episode of your favorite show, whatever it is, take a walk your dog. I don't know, take a 15-minute nap, whatever it takes to fuel you, you have to find it, and you have to be willing to block out time for it. It doesn't have to be a whole day. You don't have to go on vacation, but you do owe it to yourself to recharge, because you owe that version of yourself to your clients and the people that you surround yourself with.
I totally agree.
That's awesome, Stephanie. And so, let's talk a little more about the Icon Award, because you got the high production to get there. And we would love to hear, about the production you had to do in North Carolina to get to that, right? So like the production that you have to do, we don't have to get into big numbers, right? Just super simple numbers. Like compared to, in North Carolina, maybe you have to sell a couple less houses than they'd have to sell in Alaska, compared to how many more you'd have to sell compared to somebody that's in LA. Just due to price points, and like we just, it's fun to gauge markets this way.
Right.
And then also, being the helper that you are, the empathetic person that you are, how do you give back to EXP? Are you a coach? Do you teach in EXP world? We would love to know, and just the benefits that you took away from the Icon Award. I know it's a loaded question, but we want to see the Icon Award through the eyes of Stephanie Mann.
So, I'm a teacher by nature. Obviously, it used to be my career, but it's my passion. I love teaching, and so immediately after joining EXP, I became a mentor as soon as I could, because it just makes sense to me, and that's what I wanted to do. And I had not had that opportunity with either one of my brokerages before, and so I became a mentor right away. But as far as, and I do, I mean, I wish I had more time to be on Workplace, because I spent a lot of time on Workplace. I would try to help agents on Workplace that would ask questions, because I felt like that was, because what good is it if I'm just here at EXP and I don't do anything? So even though, I wasn't an icon until this past year, which I guess I started with EXP in 2019, and I became icon that year after. But even before I became an icon agent, I still was doing those things, because that's just my nature. That's just how I am. But I love the icon program, because again, it's like I said about my husband's car in the driveway. I'm just doing my job. It's not my job. Real estate to me is my lifestyle. It's my passion, and it's what I love. And so in some way, shape, or form, I will always be doing it, whether that's coaching and mentoring agents or what. But I love that you get rewarded for that. And so to me, though, I love the Icon program in particular, because for those who may not have had an opportunity to teach or to mentor or to teach a class, I love the fact that it gives us a platform in which to do that. Like, I would not be right now on this program talking to you had I not made Icon. So I love those benefits. I loved EXPCon in October or November this past November, because, we had that Icon breakfast. It was amazing. I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal, because we get to rub elbows with some of these big names, right? And seriously, for just doing what I do naturally, could not be any better. And what other company rewards their agents like that?
Right.
None.
Mm-mm. None that I can think of, let alone the agents, the industry. No corporate place rewards their employees like that. It's really unheard of.
Yes, absolutely. But yes, hopefully I answered your question.
You did a great job.
But I love that program. And I'm a big believer also in giving back to the community. Just had that conversation just in a Zoom call with my agents a few minutes ago. And we were talking about the importance of giving back to our local community here. I've always done that, big on that. But also, with EXP, we do have, I think it's called a New Story or New House, New Story. I can't remember what Glenn named it, but we do have the ability to give money toward helping other people to build homes in areas such as Mexico or places like that, where people have lost their homes and don't have homes or have opportunities for that. And we made a commitment when we were at EXPCon in November, we made a commitment that my team, we would, our goal is 2 houses, that we would build 2 houses for these people by the end of the year. And I love that. Because again, you're just doing what you normally would do, which is help your community, and you're being rewarded in a way that you're able to do these things. And especially with the Icon program, because we get our $16,000 back, that means that I can turn around and help more people, which is what I'm all about. So
absolutely. And, speaking of helping out, there might be some newbies watching this podcast. They see the big shiny Icon award, all the benefits that come with it, but they're also, taking on EXP as a whole for the first time, brand new. And it's like sipping water out of a fire hose. It's just coming at you. There's a lot to do. Yes. And, what is your advice for those newbies when it comes to maybe striving for the Icon award? Is that something they should dedicate themselves to in the first year? Is it attainable for them? Should they focus on some other things to build up before reaching for Icon and stressing out about it, and being let down perhaps if they don't make it? What's just some advice for some of the new guys watching?
So I am all about goal setting. Like I said, I'm not a numbers person, but I love numbers. And so every single year since I have been in real estate, I take December to think about how I have done this past year, what could I have done better this past year, and what do I need to do differently moving forward. And then I set my goals for myself. So if it was a new agent, I think the most important thing that you can do is set a goal for yourself. Because if you don't have anything to work towards, who's gonna, what good is it? Like, you've got to have some kind of goal to work towards, right? It makes for you to be able to get out of your comfort zone and do the things that you need to do as a real estate agent to propel you forward and to get those leads and to do the stuff that you need to do. So goal setting is super important. And why not set yourself, a goal for yourself to become an Icon agent? I will be honest with you, I did not know about the Icon program whenever I first came on board with EXP, nor did I know about the rev share. I didn't know either one. I just thought EXP was just a fantastic collaborative company, and I was all about it. I went to EXPCon, I did all, but that is where I learned. I'm like, wait a minute, Icon, that's pretty cool. If I just set up just a tad, I could make Icon, and then I could get my 16,000 back, So again, I set my goal for that, and I did it. The other thing I will tell, and I always tell my new agents, is this: the most difficult part in real estate is that first getting started. When you get that first lead, whatever that is that you do to get that first lead, it pushes you into getting your next lead, because it builds a certain amount of confidence in yourself and also in the clients that you're helping. They learn to trust you as well, and you learn to trust yourself. And that automatically gets you to the next one, and then the next one. And then it's just simply putting one foot in front of the other. And I cannot say it enough, being consistent. Yeah. Get a friend or somebody to call you. Hey, did you give out your business cards today? I used to, every day I got up and I didn't know what to do because nobody taught me. And so I would take 100 or 50 business cards, and I could not come back home until I gave them all out.
Wow.
That's how I got started in real estate.
Stephanie, I love that you were like, there's no trail in front of me, so I guess I just have to blaze it, and have a great attitude about it too.
Well, yeah, because nobody was going to help me, so I had to figure it out. But that's all good, because I knew that if I did figure it out, that I would be better for it. And I was like, it was amazing. So it's just about, it sounds so simple, but it's really not. You have to set goals for yourself. You have to figure out how to motivate yourself. And if you're not motivated, then get an accountability partner, a friend, or somebody to call and say, dude, did you give out 50 business cards today? Don't lie to me, because I know where you live. Like, get someone. If you can't self-motivate, that's fine. Get somebody to be accountable to. But make those goals, push yourself, get out of your comfort zone, because once you start doing it, you're done. Like, you don't ever have to go back. That's why I love working. I've worked from referrals for the last 10 years. Worried about, no, I don't have to buy leads. I don't have to worry about leads. Because I worked so hard in the first 3 years of my real estate career.
Yeah.
And that's why I try so hard to get my agents to see that. Yes, you bust your butt. You do everything you possibly can. You set yourself a goal and you meet it, because then you're good.
Mm-hmm.
You're good. If you want to get icon, after that, great. If you don't, whatever, just focus on agents or whatever. So that's my 2 cents on goal setting.
I think that's brilliant. Lean into those that are around you. If you get yourself a mentor, because that is such a huge staple in the culture here at EXP. They will hold you accountable. They will help you set those goals out. It's probably goals that they had to set up for themselves, much like Stephanie. Nobody taught them, so they know exactly how to lay down the line for you. It's going to be really cool. Or, call your best friend. Have them hold you accountable. Let them call you on your shit, because you're going to thank them for it.
That's right. Absolutely. And I do. I mean, I love mentoring. It's, again, it's just kind of my natural thing to do it, but it's so rewarding. That's why I love giving back, because as much as they are supposed to get something from my mentoring, I always end up getting something from them that I would have never gotten had I not done that. So I love when things work that way. I really do think that our world is missing that right now. I've never understood it, but to me, it's so natural and normal that we give and we get from when we give. It flows like that. The more you give, the more you get back. It just does. You don't go in it with the intention to give, but you always do when you give.
Oh, totally. And that's basic karma. But, one of the first icons I ever interviewed too is they said that the cool thing about EXP culture is that you get in here, you learn, you earn, and then you return, and you're happy to do that, though.
100%.
I mean, and you don't expect anything in return, but it comes anyway. It does.
It does. Yes, absolutely. And that's why I say, and especially for all of my agents, I try to push them outside their comfort zone. Because if I bring in a new agent and I've just started an agent who's been with me for a month, I will make that brand new 1 month agent work with the brand new agent over here, because you learn best when you teach it.
Absolutely.
All the time. So that's what the beauty of the Icon program is. They force you, or not force you, but you have to give back, because they know that you're going to benefit from that. And I love it.
I do too. That's such a great point, Stephanie. And, to bring us to our final point, we're coming up on 30 minutes, and this has been an excellent podcast so far. And the final question that I have for you really is, you were a hard sell when it came to EXP, right? Now you're here, life-changing, and you're like, man, I love EXP. I'm here for it. I'm here for the ride. But say you could go back in time and talk to yourself, the one that's sitting on the ledge, you see the greener grass, you hear the things in the air of, oh, don't go over there. It's a cult. It's a pyramid scheme. What would you have to say to yourself all those years ago? Or, even somebody who may be watching right now, sitting in the same position on that fence, seeing that the grass is greener where it's watered, and they are just too scared.
Here's my thing. I have never accomplished anything that wasn't scary at first. But the bottom, it's just, so my dad was Native American, and he had kind of an odd way of, when we were growing up, to teach us to swim when we were like 2 years old, and my mom was like panic stricken and calling him all sorts of names, but he literally just kind of dropped us in the water.
Yep.
Because he knew that we would start swimming, because naturally we do.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that I was not going to sink. He was right there beside me, but he literally just dropped me in the water. I've been able to swim. I've never had to take swimming lessons, right? Mm-hmm. That's how it is coming over to EXP. Jump off the pier, jump in the water. You've got so many people beside you helping you. And this is the thing. This is what I was telling my husband when I was like trying to make a decision. I told him, I was like, I have to say this, like, what do we have to lose? If it's awful, if it's a cult, if it's a pyramid, if it's all those lies, hey, we'll go back. My former brokerage would love to have me back, right?
I'm
So
sure.
what do you have to lose? And have you ever gained anything where you didn't have to be a little uncomfortable or do something or have something that you weren't exactly sure what was going to happen? Anything good is worth that.
Right.
Whether that be learning to swim or anything else, changing brokerages. Just try it. You have not one thing to lose and so much to gain. Because my one regret, and I don't have a whole lot of regrets, but my one regret with my business is that I did not come to EXP sooner than I did.
I'm telling you, Stephanie, I hear that so much. I should get that in me on.
For
I
real.
wish I'd done it sooner.
But I will say too, the other side is, because I've heard a lot of other people, agents tell me, well, it's too late. EXP is already the thing and everybody knows EXP and it's saturated. We barely scratched the surface. There's like 3 or 4 billion real estate agents and we're up to maybe 80,000. That's it. I mean, that's just insane. That makes no sense. And I just don't understand anybody that would say that. Right? So, yeah. But I know for me, I'm an EXP girl 100% through and through every day, all the time. I mean, I live and breathe EXP. I cannot say it enough. I'm so proud to be a part of this company. And boy, I'm so grateful to Glenn Sanford. I hugged him and he thought I was really weird. But like, I just ran up and hugged him and thanked him and cried and, got the ugly cry going because he changed my life. And I know he's changed all of my agents' lives. I love to watch that. And so again, I just can't imagine letting something so silly keep anyone from just coming over and giving it a try to see what's going to happen.
Right. You can always go back.
Yeah.
But, then when you're an icon here in the next year and you're talking to me on the show, I don't want to hear, Gianna,
Exactly.
and I still didn't make the jump. And
That's
I wish
right.
I had done it sooner.
Absolutely.
I really have enjoyed this episode with you. I think it's been fantastic. It's really exciting for, people that are prospecting our company to know that there are agents in here that they can reach out to. Stephanie is the kind of person that will become the person she needed when she was in your shoes, right?
That's it.
Reach out to her, ask her questions about EXP. We're not going to pounce on you. We shouldn't kidnap you.
No.
I can't promise for all 80,000 agents, but the best of the best won't kidnap you. They'll talk to you about it. They'll answer any questions. There's no pressure. Just come check it out.
That's right. I mean, because I'm not that kind of person. I don't like people like that. So I'm definitely not one of those pushy, whatever, but I do love EXP and, I have proof of why I love EXP and I love to share that. But at the end of the day, I just want to help people. And if I can help somebody by answering questions, I would love to do that anytime.
Absolutely. Stephanie, thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to catching up with you at EXPCon and shareholders. It's going to be a blast. And, if you want to run up and give me a hug like you did Glenn Stanford, I wouldn't turn you down.
I know, right?
I haven't changed your life, but I'm a hugger, so I'll take it on.
Same. I just won't do the ugly cry. Wear my waterproof mascara.
Deal. Perfect. I'm there for it. Stephanie, thank you so much for your time today, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success, and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.